Number 6. At number 6, we have the shonen legend Akira Toriyama, best known for two of the most popular shonen series around, being Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball. While nowhere near as influential as Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump is still a series worth mentioning, as a good handful of other comedy series around have taken a good chunk of influence from it, such as Gintama and surprisingly even a bit of Soul Eater, just to name a few. However, the Dragon Ball series is truly what made Toriyama the legend he is today, as Dragon Ball has a major influence in not just the world of anime, manga, and Japanese pop culture, but also worldwide pop culture, as Dragon Ball is actually one of the very few series that even non-anime and manga fans can distinguish. As far as impact, this series pretty much changed shonen for years to come. Similar to Buro-san's work on North Star, Toriyama's work on Dragon Ball had a heavy influence on the series made around the time of the series debut. However, unlike North Star, the influence of Dragon Ball can still be felt heavily today. After all, you can take a look at some of the most popular shonen series of today and see just how heavy an influence Dragon Ball has had to the demographic. This is mostly because Dragon Ball popularized the over-the-top fights, power levels, training, and transformations the shonen genre is known for. Sure, Dragon Ball may have not invented most of these shonen concepts, as we'll see later on, but it did revolutionize them, leading to a new modern age of shonen. Also, it would be fair to mention Toriyama's work as a character designer for a hit RPG series such as Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. But with that, let's move on to number 5. At number 5, we have a two-way tie between Shimida Takashi of the manga duo Utamago and Masami Kurumada. Originally, I didn't want a two-way tie on this list, and while these two mangaka easily deserve their own spots on the list due to their own achievements in the manga world, but I had to pair them up at number 5, as no matter how much research I did, it was hard for me to pinpoint which of these two pretty much started the foundations of modern shonen, that would later be popularized by the previously mentioned Akira Toriyama. Before I get into that, however, let's go into why these two are on the list in the first place. Takashi is the writer of the hit shonen series Kinnikuman, which originally started as a superhero parody but soon evolved into an over-the-top action comedy. While the series was pretty bizarre, it does hold a lot of value to the shonen demographic. The main character himself, Kinnikuman, is one of the first, if not one of the earliest, to popularize the whole trope of the airheaded but super strong protagonist, which is practically the norm for many shonens nowadays. Not only that, Kinnikuman was the earliest series to introduce the staple friendship power-ups that the demographic is known for. However, one of the most interesting things about Kinnikuman, it was one of the first to utilize reader submissions. As in Kinnikuman, readers were able to submit their own ideas for Chojin, or Supermen, for the series, which is something series such as Toriko and Kogobancho would later use in similar fashion. Fun fact about these submissions, Panda Man, a character that normally hides in the backgrounds in One Piece, was first seen in Kinnikuman as a fan submission by Oda, who you could tell by the zaniness of One Piece was quite the fan of Utamago's works. Other mangaka inspired by them include Mizutoshi Shimabukuro, Hiro Mashima, Nakaba Suzuki, Akira Toriyama, and surprisingly even Hiromi Arakawa, and of course many more. Let's not forget that the series is also so popular in Japan, every Friday 29th is Kinnikuman Day, and similar to the earlier mentioned Tiger Mask, this series has various real wrestlers going under the personas of the characters in the ring. But moving on, we have Masami Kurumada, best known for Saint Seiya and Ring Nika Kakeru. Kurumada's works are iconic for many reasons, however what might surprise a lot of his fans is that his iconic Baishonen art style might have led to the popularity of yaoi, as many yaoi doujinshi back in the day were made for his series, giving the genre a massive boom, which also helped the all-female mangaka group Clamp get their own career started by making Saint Seiya doujin. However, Saint Seiya didn't just help give rise to yaoi, it was also a major influence on the modern shonen powerhouse being Bleach, as the series creator Tite Kubo has stated that he was heavily influenced by the design and battles of Saint Seiya. But now that we got what made these two mangakas so iconic and influential, let's get into why they're tied up at number 5. While I already mentioned that Kinnikuman supplied the basic backbone to many modern day shonen, with its main character and use of friendship and fan submissions, however there's actually more to that, as Kinnikuman pretty much set up the formula to many shonen arcs such as tournaments, and saving friends from the clutches of evil, and even making friends out of the bad guy. However, the reason why I didn't mention all this while talking about Takashi is because it's hard to say between him and Kurumada who really started it all. You see, before Saint Seiya, Kurumada had a series by the name of Ring Nika Kakeru, which featured all the things I mentioned earlier and debuted in 1977. And while I could have easily given the credit to Kurumada as Kinnikuman debuted in 1979, but again, I've researched many times and it still is hard to tell who exactly started it all first, as well as which one made it more iconic, which is why these two share the spot at number 5.
Falcon!
Number 4. At number 4, we have the Japanese superhero legend Shotaro Ishinomori, also known as the Stan Lee of Japan, and for good reason. With Cyborg 009, Ishinomori created the first ever Japanese superhero team. With Skullman, he created the first ever anti-hero in manga. Then there's the classic Kamen Rider, which started off as a manga series and soon became the icon it is today, spawning various live-action TV shows, specials, movies, and spin-offs. Along with Kamen Rider, Ishinomori put various other henshin or transforming superheroes on the map, such as Inazuma Man, Android Kailighter, Ninja Arashi, and various others. However, one of Ishinomori's most notable achievements may have been creating the first ever Super Sentai series, being Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, which gave way to various other Super Sentai series over the years to be made, and would eventually lead to the US getting their own Super Sentai series, being Power Rangers. So if you grew up with Power Rangers or Kamen Rider, you pretty much owe your childhood to Ishinomori. Number 3. At number 3, we have the legend himself, Mitsuteru Yokoyama, who may have not created manga as we know it today, but he created some of its most popular genres. As Yokoyama is the father of the mecha genre of series such as Giant Robo and Tetsujin 28. But besides mecha, he is also the father of the magical girl genre with Sally the Witch, and also the ninja genre with Kagemaru of Iga in Kamen no Ninja Akage. While it's hard to find an exact source on whether Yokoyama is the first to do so, but rumor has it is that Yokoyama was the first to have characters yell out attack names, something that is pretty much a staple in manga today. Yokoyama's works have also influenced many other mangaka today, such as Naoki Urasawa, Kachiro Otomo, Go Nagai, and the previously mentioned Hirohiko Araki. Also, fun fact, while not entirely Yokoyama's doing, but the term Shotokan, the term used for people with an attraction to younger boys, is short for Shotaro Complex, which is actually a reference to the main character of Tetsujin 28 being the boy detective Shotaro.